Hello YouTube world, my name is Nicholas Montez, and you're watching my YouTube channel, Nicholas Montez. Welcome back to another YouTube channel video, everybody. I'm so excited to have you all back here together again. Now, first things first, if you guys do not recognize, I'm actually filming this video on June 2nd because, I finished this movie that we're going to be talking about today. But by the time you're watching this, it will be June 5th. Somewhere around, like, 11:05 or something. Wait, 9. I don't know when this video is posted. I'll see. Probably 9 or 5. But today we're going to be talking about the next Edgar Wright film in my Sparks Brothers series, Journey to Sparks Brothers. I really wanted to do this series with when The Last Soho came out, but I gotta do all these series I gotta do. So with that said, let's get started talking about The World's End, which is the next Edgar Wright film that I have watched. So personally for me, I think that this movie, first off, the thing I loved about this film was the cast. I mean, you really bring in the guy, like the main character, Gary King, who, the actor, I don't remember the actor's name, but the actor has been in past Edgar Wright films. When you're talking about Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, Straight 8. He's been in a couple of Edgar Wright's films earlier. And of the ones I've seen, which is Hot Fuzz, he actually does a kind of good role in there, as in that film, he has like this understatement of like people. And in this film, it's kind of the opposite of that. He just wants to he wants his friends, he wants to go around the world, he wants to go to all these pubs, he wants to go to the world's end. And the dynamic with all the characters are just great. And the whole group dynamics are just, the group dynamic is just so good, as the situations that happen within the film, you kind of understand where all these characters are coming from. Like when Gary fakes his mom's death, like when he lies to his friends about it, it's like you can kind of understand where he's coming from a little bit. Except it's done in actually a comedic way. Another thing you gotta talk about with this film is that the comedy is actually pretty funny. Like, they literally there's literally like 2 jokes I remember laughing in the movie. Like, literally laughing, not like, like laughing my butt off, like wheezing laughing, but like, you know, just a little funny joke. But the comedic jokes, like, I remember there was this joke about Dr. Ink, which was a reference to drink, and I really like that joke as well. It also has just a really cool set of action sequences. When you get into the bathroom scene and Gary is going to the bathroom and he's talking to this kid and he's not doing very well, and so he wants that kid to pay attention to him, but they start fighting and he rips off his head. He rips off that kid's head, and he is a robot and his blood is blue, and it's like, what is going on here? And then his other friends come in the bathroom and they start fighting all the other people, and it was just crazy. The action in this film was just so good, so good. So yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in here with the comedy, the group dynamics, some of the characters. At some points in time, you can see that there's some loss with the characters, and you see that from the description that the characters have kind of changed since the opening sequence where Gary is explaining all of his friends. And then of course at the end you have kind of like an emotional arc as some characters are doing new things. With that said, let's just move on to the bad now, because I feel like I have a little bit more problems than good. And the first thing that I didn't really like about the film is that the potential storyline, I'm not the biggest fan of. And it kind of has a little bit too much plot going on, as it's about this story of these friends from high school reuniting, and then you have this sort of robot invasion that they don't want to invade, they're just trying to help, but then they're still fighting this group of friends, and it doesn't really make sense. And so the whole story structure just feels so weird, and that I don't really know what this film was going for. Granted, some of the action sequences I told you, are good, and the group dynamics are good, but the specific story was just kind of all over the place. I don't think they knew what type of story they wanted to tell, so they decided to cram everything that Edgar Wright could do from like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World and like Hot Fuzz. It was like Hot Fuzz and Scott Pilgrim vs. the World crammed in one film. Except it's way, way different. And then also, there's just some very confusing things. Like, the way the story just goes, I'm just not the biggest fan of the whole story. It's just, it doesn't feel satisfying at the end, because you don't really know what these characters resolved. So that was kind of frustrating. And then there's a lot of these twists and turns that I just never felt satisfied me. They never really, like, there was this one twist where I thought that one of the group people was like robots, but then they weren't, but then they went back to the family, and it was just weird. So the twists and turns were not that good, and some of the storytelling I just didn't think was very well done. But everything else is pretty good. But the story and plot twists, I would say the story drops down like kind of a good bit, but it's still an enjoyable movie, and I still really enjoyed it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Oh no, wait. Oh no, actually, sorry. Before I give you my score, be sure to tell me down below, what do you guys think about The World's End? Do you guys love it? Do you guys hate it? We're right there in between. Let's get some nice discussions going. With that said, let's get on with my scores. Alright, so that is it for my World's End review, but we're not done yet. We got one more thing to do before we end this video, and that's to see where The World's End ranks in my Edgar Wright ranking. So, let's see where it ranks in the ranking up to The World's End. Alright, so that is it for my Edgar Wright ranking and my review for The World's End. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. My Instagram name is Marvel6 and my TikTok name is Marvel1Fan. If you guys don't understand those names, head to my back section so you can follow me on all social medias. I'm also on Letterboxd. It's the same name as my Instagram, Marvel_6_, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.